7. Ooh.
Good morning. I'm Justin Gray. I'm the host of War Eagle Football's Coach's Corner. I'd like to welcome our assistant coaches, Jason Boynton and Hill Johnson.
Good to be here.
Good morning.
Gentlemen, this morning we'd like to talk about our win last week over the Portal Panthers. Can you run us through some of the defensive stats?
Yeah, we were led by Jonathan Coleman, who had 9 tackles, 4 for a loss, two quarterback sacks. He had a fumble calls and a fumble recovery. Kay Johnson had 10 tackles. Overall, we had a good defensive night. It was spread out. Everyone played well and did a good job overall. Friday night, the offense drove the ball down and stumbled a little bit and fumbled on the 1-yard line, and we pinned them deep. We got a safety and just kind of set up the night from there, and offense took it from there and put us out to a lead of 16-0.
What about some of the offensive stats?
We were led by Brandon Goodman. He had around 20 carries for 165 yards. And after that, Nasir Newkirk would come in around the 10-yard line and capitalize. He ended up with 2 touchdowns on the night. And overall, we ended up playing a lot sharper. And Justin ended up passing for around 50 yards and moving Darius Burton out to X receiver. He ended up with around 50 yards with 2 catches. And those are things that we can build on for the next upcoming weeks.
What are some of the highlights and positives adding on to those?
Friday night, the defense really only give up about 22 yards rushing. And their best receiver come into the game probably averaging a little more than 100 yards receiving a game. And once the game got going, we made a couple of adjustments. We really shut him down in the second half. He may have had 1 catch the second half, and they really didn't have no answer for what our adjustment was. So it really stymied them on offense. And hats off to the kids who made that adjustment and did a great job of executing the game plan, which helped lead us to victory.
What are some of the highlights from the offense?
We were able to, adjust on the fly in the second half, made some adjustments where we could drive the ball. Late in the game, I think the last possession pretty much, proved that we can move the ball in times whenever we need to. We were pinned on, the 5-yard line, and we ended up running out the clock, 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, and sealed the win. The things that we got to fix on, they're all small, but overall, I was just proud of the effort and how hard they played.
As this defense has been very good all year, what are some ways they can continue to improve and build on this victory?
Well, we just got to get better at stance and alignment still, secondary-wise, getting lined up to different formations, and we got to be able to tackle better in space. Our team's getting outside on the edge on us a little bit. We just got to be able to break down, and we got to tackle better in space for games coming up, teams we got to play. For us to be successful coming up, linebackers, we got to attack more. And just defensive line getting off blocks, getting a better pass rush without having to blitz. It's a couple things we need to do for us to keep continuing being successful.
And what are some ways that offense can improve and get some points on the board for the defense?
Well, the biggest issue Friday night was, we fumbled the ball on the 1-yard line going into score. Minimize turnovers is the biggest thing. And like I said earlier, the little mistakes, we just got to make sure that we harp on the same things we harp on every day in practice. If they give you a different alignment, they've just got to be able to adjust on the fly. But those are things that'll come as the season progresses. But it's just everyday things. Just keep working and keep working. It's the biggest thing.
As we know, we have an open week this week. But as you look ahead to our homecoming game against Bryan County, what are some keys for the Eagles' success?
Well, probably one of the biggest keys for homecoming is, there's a lot of activities going on, a lot of different things going on out in the community. There's a lot of distraction. First and foremost, we got to be focused on what we got going on and what we got to do in order for us to be successful on the field. We also have to, the things I talked about, we need to work on this open week. We're going to practice and we're going to work on those things and see if we can get better at it.
What are some keys to the offense against the Indians?
Biggest thing is just continue to play hard and make sure you always trust your assignments and follow your rules. It's the biggest thing that I preach every day to the offensive linemen. Whenever they start finally following them rules, everything's going to click, and especially coming into homecoming week, the biggest thing is just having a great week of practice and a great week of preparation and everybody behaving and staying out of trouble. The biggest thing.
Who are some of the players on both sides of the ball for the Eagles as we suit up for the Indians, as well as some of the key players for the Indians?
We're finally getting Chris Scott back in the secondary. He played a little bit last week. He had been out 2 or 3 weeks with an injury. He'll help shore up the secondary a little bit and give us a little more depth there. Coleman's always a big asset to us. He's really locked down that anchor end down there, and he's really playing well. And the linebackers has just got to keep coming on. They just got to keep playing. We're getting there though.
What about on offense? Who are some of the players we can watch for as we suit up?
The biggest thing with us is, up front, as long as we keep progressing up front, we're going to get better and better. Definitely our backs with Brandon and Nasir and, and quarterback with Justin. And now that we've moved Darius outside, you got Darius and Jimmy and Jaden. The biggest thing is just get the passing game going some and smoothing everything out up front to where we have a solid running game at all times.
I want to thank Coach B and Coach Hill right here for joining us today on Coach's Corner. Plan to join us right here at home in 2 weeks as we play on October 30th against the Indians on homecoming. This is Justin Gray signing off till next time, and go War Eagles.